Snow fell like soft feathers from the sky, silent and endless. The forest on planet Virella 9 was covered in thick white. It looked peaceful, but it wasn't. Sergeant Ray Nolan's boots crunched in the snow as he scanned the trees. His squad of 5 humans walked behind him. Their breath showed in the freezing air, guns ready, eyes sharp. They were not tourists. They were soldiers, dropped into a war they didn't expect. The mission had changed fast. What was supposed to be a peaceful scan and report mission turned into a disaster 2 days ago. An unknown alien species attacked their base. No warning, no signal, just fire, smoke, and dead bodies. Ray and his team were lucky to escape. Now, they were moving through the wild snowlands, trying to reach the emergency extraction point. "We've got 10 miles left," whispered Corporal Diaz, checking his wrist map. "No signal. Still jammed. Stay alert," Ray said. "They came without sound. They'll do it again." Then something strange happened. Private Liam stopped walking. "Wait, did you hear that?" Everyone froze. Not a single sound. Just wind. Liam slowly pointed to a small hill of snow. Something moved under there. Ray's heart pounded. "Weapon ready?" "Diaz, check it." Diaz moved forward, stepping carefully. He knelt down and brushed the snow slowly. Suddenly, he shouted, "It's alive!" The team rushed over. Beneath the snow was a girl. Not human. Her skin was pale blue with glowing lines across her arms. She had long white hair stuck to her face with ice. Her body was barely covered in a torn fabric. Her lips were purple. Her eyes closed. "She wasn't breathing. She's freezing to death," said Liam. "We can't leave her." Ray cursed under his breath. "She could be one of them." "No," said Diaz. "She's different. Too small. Too fragile." Ray had a choice to make. He looked around. No enemies in sight. Snow falling harder. All right, get the heat blankets out. Now. But Liam had another idea. He unzipped his thermal jacket and laid it over her. "She needs body heat," he said. "Fast." Ray looked at him. Then at the alien girl. "Fine, we do it together." One by one, the soldiers sat around her, using their own bodies to warm her up, hands pressed gently against her icy skin. Her body was freezing, but slowly, very slowly it started to change. She shivered. Then her lips moved. A strange sound escaped. "She's trying to speak," said Diaz, but they couldn't understand her words. She opened her eyes bright silver and looked right at Ray. She was terrified. Ray lifted his hands. "We're not your enemy," he said calmly. "We're here to help." She blinked slowly. Then a tear ran down her cheek. Suddenly, a noise in the trees. Snapped. Ray raised his weapon. "Get ready." But it was just snow falling. Ray looked back at the alien girl. Her breathing was steady now. Her skin no longer ice cold. "She's stable," Liam said. "But we need to move." Ray nodded. "Wrap her up." "She's coming with us." "Sir?" Diaz looked unsure. "She could slow us down." "She's a witness," Ray said. "Maybe the only one who knows what started this war." The girl didn't speak, but she kept her eyes on Ray like she was trying to tell him something. Ray stared back, thinking, "Who are you? And why were you buried in the snow like trash?" He didn't have answers. But he knew one thing for sure. This war was bigger than they were told. And this girl was the key to something they didn't understand yet. Asterisk. Ray carried the alien girl in his arms as the team moved through the snowy forest. She was light, too light. Like her bones were hollow. Her skin had warmed up, but she still hadn't spoken a word they could understand. The sun was setting fast. Darkness in this place came early and brought danger. Strange sounds echoed between the trees, howls, clicks, distant growls. "We need shelter," said Diaz. No way we're making it 10 miles in this cold. Ray stopped walking and scanned the area. Their cave entrance, just up the ridge. The team moved quickly toward it. Snow crunched under their boots. Inside the cave, it was dark, but dry. Liam used a flashlight to check for danger. Clear. They settled in. A small fire crackled near the back wall, using fire gel packs. The alien girl lay wrapped in 3 blankets. She opened her eyes slowly. Her silver gaze scanned each human, full of confusion and fear. "She's awake again," said Liam, kneeling beside her. "We should try to talk," Ray nodded. "Keep it calm. No sudden moves." Liam leaned in. "Can you understand us?" The girl blinked. Her lips moved, but the words came out strange, like music mixed with whispers. No translator worked. Diaz tried his portable comm, but the device buzzed and failed. "She speaks a language we've never seen." Diaz muttered. Ray knelt down. He pointed at himself. "Ray," he said slowly. Then he pointed at her. "You?" She watched his finger. After a moment, she whispered, "Nada, nada." Ray repeated. She nodded weakly. "It was a start." Liam smiled. "That's good. Very good." Suddenly, the cave shook. A deep rumble came from outside, like something large walking nearby. The fire trembled. The alien girl's eyes went wide with fear. She grabbed Ray's jacket, pulling him close. "She's scared," said Diaz. "Whatever's out there, it's bad." Ray signaled for silence. Everyone raised their weapons. Thump, thump, thump. The sound moved past the cave. Heavy, slow, like a machine. Or a beast. They waited until it faded into the distance. Only then did Ray speak. "We're not alone in this forest." Nada said something softly, then pointed to her arm. Faint blue lights glowed under her skin. Her finger traced a pattern, 3 circles inside a triangle. "What's she showing us?" asked Liam. "I've seen that symbol before," Ray said. "Back at the rune base. It was on the enemy tech." Nada shook her head and quickly pointed to herself. Then drew a line in the snow and pointed away from the symbol. "She's saying she's not one of them." Diaz guessed. Ray nodded. "Then who is?" Nada slowly sat up. She touched the floor with her finger and drew a star. Then she drew another symbol and crossed it out. "She's trying to tell us something big," Liam whispered. "Something about other stars? Another group?" Ray stood. His face was hard. "There's more going on here. Someone buried her on purpose. Someone wanted her dead." The wind outside howled again. Ray looked at his team. "Get ready to move at first light. We're carrying her with us." "But sir," Diaz began. Ray cut him off. "No argument. This girl knows something, and if they were hunting her, they'll hunt us too." Nada slowly lay back down. Her breathing was calm again, but her hand never let go of Ray's jacket. Liam sat down beside the fire. "Do you think she's a soldier?" Ray shook his head. "No, she's something else." Diaz added, "What if she's the reason the war started?" Ray looked at her. This small, blue-skinned alien who barely survived in the snow, or maybe. He said quietly, "She's the reason it might end." Asterisk, the fire in the cave had burned low. Morning came cold and silent. Snowflakes floated in the wind like ashes from a quiet battle. Ray stepped out of the cave first. He scanned the forest. "Clear," he whispered. The others followed. Diaz helped carry the gear. Liam had Nada on his back, carefully wrapped in thick blankets. Her glowing skin gave off a soft light even in the daylight. She was weak but alert. "We move north," Ray said. "Stick close. Stay low." They began marching again, the snow deeper than the day before. The storm had covered their tracks, but also hidden new ones. About an hour into the hike, Diaz stopped. "Captain, look at this." He pointed at the ground. Large, deep footprints. Not human. Each step was wide and had 3 clawed toes. The snow around the prints was burned black, melted from heat. Ray knelt beside them. These weren't here yesterday. Fresh, Diaz said. Still warm, maybe made an hour ago. Nava saw the tracks and gasped. She tried to speak, pointing at them with trembling fingers. She knows what made them, Liam said. Ray helped her off Liam's back and placed her gently on a fallen tree. Nava, show us. Is it enemy? She nodded fast, then drew something in the snow. A tall figure, sharp shoulders. No face, just glowing eyes. Then she drew a smaller figure, curved lines, and pointed to herself. She's showing us her kind, Diaz said. And how they're different. Ray looked closer. The tall figure had claws. The one that looked like her had none. Her kind were peaceful, maybe even prey. Ray stood. We need to move faster. But now they tugged on his sleeve and pointed. The other way. Opposite direction? Ray asked. That's not where the extraction point is. She nodded again and kept pointing, almost desperate now. Liam spoke up. Maybe there's something we need to see. Ray didn't like changing plans, but something in Nei's eyes, it wasn't fear. It was warning. All right, he finally said. We follow her lead. Just for now. They turned southwest. About 20 minutes later, they reached a narrow clearing. Snow was disturbed. Burned trees. Metal fragments. A small shuttle crashed, broken, almost buried. Wreckage, said Diaz. And bodies. The team moved carefully. There were 2 alien bodies, frozen in place. Both had similar glowing skin like Navy, but their faces were peaceful. No weapons. No armor. Civilians. Navi fell to her knees beside one of them. She touched the woman's cheek and cried without sound. Liam looked away. Family? Ray's jaw tightened. She wasn't running from war. She was the only one who survived it. Suddenly, a beeping sound. Diaz held up a small black box from the wreck. Data core still active. Download what you can, Ray ordered. Navi stood again. She walked slowly to a crushed panel and reached under it. Her hand came back holding something shiny, a glowing crystal. What's that? Liam asked. She offered it to Ray. He took it. The crystal hummed in his hand. It's warm. Nava pointed to the sky, then to the crystal, then to her chest. She's saying it's power, Diaz said. Or maybe life? Ray turned the crystal over. This might be what the enemy wants. Not her. This. Then Dash snapped out. A branch broke. Too close. Ray spun around. Form up. In the trees, movement. Something fast. Shadows. Low growls. Nava backed up, eyes wide. From the forest, a creature stepped out. Over 7 feet tall. Black armor, long arms, red lights glowing in its chest. No face. Just a smooth metal mask. The humans raised their weapons. Creature didn't move. It just stared. Ray stepped in front of Navy. If it wants her, it'll have to go through us. Then 2 more appeared, flanking them. Diaz whispered, 3 targets. Ray gripped his rifle tight. This is it, no running. Nava stepped forward. The crystal in Ray's hand glowed brighter. The creatures froze. They made a low growl, then backed away slowly into the trees. Gone. What just happened? Liam gasped. Ray looked at the crystal again. Still glowing. They're scared. Of this, whatever it is. It's not just power. Nava looked up at him, and for the first time she smiled. Asterisk. The wind picked up again, carrying snow across the clearing. Ray tightened his grip on the glowing crystal. Nava stood beside him, calmer now, but alert. The creatures had vanished, but their presence still hung in the air like cold breath. They were watching us, Liam whispered. But they didn't attack. Because of this, Ray said, holding up the crystal. This thing scares them. Diaz walked over with the data core in his hand. Got the files. Most are damaged, but I pulled one clean image. He tapped. His wrist screen. A hologram appeared, an alien map. 2 glowing marks pulsed on it. One was where they stood. The other. Deeper into the forest. Nadash, the stepped forward and pointed to the second mark. She touched her chest, then the crystal. Then the map. She wants us to go there, Diaz said. Ray sighed. We're already off course and running low on supplies. But if that place is important to her people, Liam said, it could be why those things are here. Ray looked at Nathy. Her eyes weren't pleading. They were certain. He gave a slow nod. Let's move. 2 hours later, they reached a frozen canyon, jagged cliffs on both sides. In the center, an opening like a broken mouth in the ground. It was a tunnel. Underground facility? Diaz guessed. Let's find out, Ray said. They climbed down carefully. The tunnel was dark, but the walls shimmered with light like the stone had veins of energy. Nathan moved ahead with new strength, guiding them. Inside, the walls changed. From stone to metal. Definitely not natural, Liam whispered. This was built. Ray checked a panel. Symbols glowed faintly. Ancient tech. Older than our scanners can read. Nada stopped at a large circular door. She placed her hand on the center. The glowing lines on her skin lit up and the door opened with a deep whoosh. Inside was a chamber round, tall, filled with strange machines. In the middle stood a platform with another crystal larger, brighter, floating in the air. Thea walked slowly toward it like she was in a dream. Suddenly, the walls lit up. A voice echoed not in sound, but in their minds. Welcome, last daughter of Ayeri. Everyone froze. Ray stepped closer. Did you all hear that? Clear as day. Diaz said. Nadash. She looked around, her face filled with emotion. She whispered something and bowed to the floating crystal. Ray looked up. Who are the Ayeri? Diaz checked the data. Her species, probably. This place must be a memory vault. The voice returned. The knowledge is fading. The protectors are gone, but the seed remains. It must be kept alive. Nada turned and handed the small crystal to Ray. She placed it into a slot on the platform. The whole room vibrated. Light streamed upward like a fountain. A new image formed thousands of stars. Then black dots started spreading across the map. Ray stepped forward. What is this? They came from the edge of silence. Not life, not machine. They destroy what they cannot control. The Ayeri fell, others will too. Ray clenched his fists. It's not just a war, it's a cleansing. Diaz pointed to a mark on the map. Earth's on here. Ray stared at it. The black dots were slowly moving toward it. They'll reach us one day, Liam whispered, unless we stop them. The voice faded and the room dimmed. The floating crystal lowered into Ray's hand. Nay looked at him and nodded. She wants us to take it, Diaz said. Ray understood. This was more than rescue, more than survival. This was about warning the galaxy and preparing to fight back. We get her to safety, he said. Then we deliver this to command. But as they turned to leave, a sound echoed down the tunnel. Behind them, heavy footsteps, clawed feet, clicking metal. They weren't alone. Ray raised his rifle. It's time we show them humans don't back down. Asterisk, the sound of footsteps echoed louder, slow, heavy. Getting closer. Ray moved fast. Defensive. Position, now. Liam pulled Nade behind the crystal platform. Diaz raised his rifle and pointed toward the tunnel entrance. Ray stood in front, ready, eyes locked on the shadows. The light inside the chamber flickered. Then they saw it. The same creature from the forest, taller than any human, armored in black, glowing red from its chest. But this time it wasn't alone. Two more followed behind it. All of them had long arms and blades attached to their forearms. "They're here for the crystal," Ray said. Nada gasped. She clutched Ray's arm and pointed to a glowing panel on the wall. She motioned quickly up and around. "A second way out?" "Liam, take her," Ray said. "Use that path." "But sir, that's an order." Liam grabbed Nai's hand and ran with her toward the panel. As they got closer, it slid open, revealing a narrow tunnel behind the wall. Ray turned back just as the first creature stepped inside. He opened fire. Bullets bounced off the creature's chest armor. It barely flinched. It raised one arm and fired a blast of red energy. The wall behind Ray exploded. "Fall back." Ray shouted. Diaz threw a flash grenade. Light burst across the chamber, stunning the creatures for a second. Ray and Diaz ducked behind the control panel. "They're too strong," Diaz shouted. "We need to bring this place down." Ray looked at the platform. "If we destroy this room, we lose the crystal and all the knowledge." Diaz reloaded. "Then we hold them off." Ray's mind raced. He checked his belt. One high-impact mine left. It wouldn't kill them, but it might slow them down. He looked toward the tunnel where Liam and Nada had vanished. They need time. He placed the mine near the door, set the timer for 10 seconds, and nodded to Diaz. "Move." They jumped toward the side exit just as the first creature rushed in again. Boom! The explosion shook the whole room. Fire and smoke filled the air. Ray and Diaz ran into the side tunnel. It was tighter and darker, but led upward. Behind them, the creature roared. "They're still coming." Diaz shouted. Ray activated a wall charge and dropped it behind them. The blast sealed the tunnel with falling rock. "Won't hold forever," Ray said, panting. Up ahead, Liam called out, "This way." He had found an exit. A metal door cracked open to the outside. Snowlight poured in. Ray burst through first, followed by Diaz. Cold air hit their faces. They stood in the snow, shivering. But her hand was glowing again. The large crystal now floated beside her. She looked different, stronger. Then she pointed at the trees. Two more enemies were coming from the side. But this time, Nada stepped forward. She raised her hand and the crystal responded. A wave of blue light shot out. The two creatures froze. Mid-step, their red lights flickered. Then they collapsed into the snow. Ray stared in shock. She stopped them? Nada fell to her knees, exhausted. Liam rushed to catch her. "She's okay. Just tired." Diaz looked back at the sealed tunnel. "That won't hold much longer. If more are coming," Ray nodded. "We move now." They started walking fast through the snow-covered woods, deeper into the mountains. The extraction point was still miles away, but something had changed. Neo wasn't just a girl who needed saving anymore. She was the weapon they didn't understand, and the enemy feared her. As they marched, Ray kept the crystal close, his eyes scanning the sky. This war wasn't just between species. It was about secrets, and whoever controlled those secrets could save the galaxy or destroy it. The snowstorm had faded, leaving behind a cold silence. The team moved quietly through a narrow pass between ice-covered cliffs. Ray led the way, checking every corner. Behind him, Diaz carried the heavy gear. Liam stayed close to Nadi, who walked slowly but no longer needed help. They had traveled for hours with no signs of the enemy. "Should be near the Cums Ridge," Diaz said. "We can send a signal from there if the jamming's gone." Ray stopped and looked up. The ridge ahead was tall and open. A good place to send a signal. A bad place to get ambushed. "We'll risk it," Ray said, "but keep watch. I don't trust this quiet." They climbed the icy slope, boots crunching over frost. At the top, the view stretched wide endless. Snow, frozen rivers, and dark mountains beyond. For a moment, it felt peaceful. Diaz set up the comms unit and adjusted the satellite dish. No interference. We're clear to send. Ray activated the device and spoke into the mic. This is Sergeant Ray Nolan, Human Squad Alpha 7. Requesting urgent extraction. Coordinates uploading now. We have a living alien survivor and a high-value artifact. He paused. Repeat, we have a survivor and a powerful artifact. This is a galaxy-level threat. Please respond. They waited. Static crackled. Then dash clicked. A voice came through. Hello, Sergeant Nolan. We see you. Everyone froze. Ray narrowed his eyes. That's not command. The voice continued, broken and unnatural. You carry what is? Not yours. Return the seed or burn. Then the signal cut. Silence returned. Liam looked pale. That wasn't human. No, Ray said slowly. They're listening. They heard everything. Diaz stepped back from the dish. We just told the enemy exactly where we are. Nada trembled. The crystal floating beside her dimmed slightly, like it sensed danger. Suddenly, a sharp buzzing sound. From behind the ridge, 6 black drones rose into the sky. Small, fast, armed. Red lights blinked under their wings. Down! Ray shouted. Bullets rained over the ridge. The team dove behind rocks. Snow burst into the air as metal shells slammed into the ground. Nayan covered her head, shaking. Liam threw his body over her, shielding her with his jacket. Ray aimed and fired at one drone hit. It exploded mid-air. Diaz hit another with a rocket flare. 2 down. But 4 were still circling, moving faster now. They're calling for backup. Diaz warned. Ray looked at Navi. She was clutching her chest, eyes closed tight, whispering something. Then the crystal beside her pulsed bright blue. Boom! A shockwave shot outward. Not fire, but sound. The drones wobbled in the air, lost control, and crashed into the snow one by one. The air grew still again. Nai opened her eyes slowly. Liam helped her up, breathing hard. You did it again. Ray stood, brushing snow from his gear. She's not just carrying that crystal, she's linked to it. Diaz checked the sky. More will come. We need to keep moving. Ray looked at the comms unit. No one's coming to save us. He turned to Nada. You said this crystal is a seed? Right? She nodded weakly. Ray asked, can it be planted? Navi pointed toward the northern mountains. Up there? Ray asked. What's there? She whispered one word, hope. Ray didn't understand everything. But he understood that word. He looked at his team. We're not running anymore. We take her there. Whatever this seed is, we protect it. That's our mission now. Diaz gave a firm nod. Till the end, Liam smiled. Let's give her that hope. Nada looked at them, these strange humans who once pulled her from the snow, and smiled back. She was no longer alone. Asterisk snow whipped across their faces as they climbed higher into the northern mountains. The wind howled like distant screams. The ground was icy, the rocks sharp. But still they climbed. Ray led the way, his rifle slung over one shoulder. Nada walked beside him now, no longer weak. The crystal floated behind her, glowing stronger with each step. Diaz and Liam kept watch, moving carefully, weapons ready. They had no backup, no command, no signal, only a mission. To reach the place Navi called Hope. As they neared the mountain peak, the sky turned pale gold. Strange lights shimmered in the clouds, colors Ray had never seen before. It didn't look natural. Then Navi pointed ahead. A wide plateau stretched out between the cliffs. In the center stood a tall stone structure, half buried in the snow. It looked ancient, glowing with soft blue veins of light. Neither ran forward. "She knows this place," Liam said. "It's the heart of her people," Ray replied, "or what's left of it." They followed her onto the plateau. The stone structure had a large round basin in the center. Around it were carvings, stars, symbols, and her kind's history. Frozen in stone. They placed the glowing seed crystal into the center of the basin. It began to float. Then spin. Light burst upward like a beam into the sky. "She's activating something," Diaz said, shielding his eyes. But Navid didn't stop. She placed her hand on the stone, and the mountain itself began to hum. Then a sound from the sky. Ray turned fast. Enemy ships. Two black dropships came roaring through the clouds, engines screaming. "They're here," Diaz shouted. They followed the signal. Nada backed away from the basin, looking afraid. The light from the seed crystal pulsed faster, but it wasn't done yet. Ray raised his rifle. "We hold them off, no matter what." The dropships opened mid-air and released a dozen enemy soldiers, tall, armored, claws out. They landed hard in the snow, charging forward without a sound. The humans opened fire. Ray shot one in the chest. Liam took down another. Diaz hurled a grenade that sent two flying, but more kept coming. One enemy reached the basin. They stepped in front of it. The creature raised its claw. Ray shouted, "No!" But before the blow landed, the seed crystal released a massive wave of blue light. Boom! The energy knocked the enemy back, sent snow flying, and made the ground shake. They stood in the center, her arms raised. Light flowing through her skin. Then the carvings on the stone structure lit up fully, and something rose from beneath the ice. A second structure, taller, smoother, made of silver and blue, emerged from the mountain. It looked like a tower or a beacon. The seed had awakened something ancient. The enemy soldiers looked up, hesitated. Nay, they walked to Ray. She touched his chest gently, eyes filled with tears. "She's saying goodbye," Liam whispered. Ray shook his head. No. But Nada turned back to the structure and stepped into the light. The crystal rose above her, spinning faster. The sky cracked open. A deep sound echoed across the mountains, like the voice of a planet speaking. The enemy soldiers backed away. Some ran, the rest fell to their knees, their red lights fading. Then the beacon fired a beam into the sky, up, far past the clouds, into space. Silence. The light faded. The crystal slowly dropped into the basin, now dim and still. Nia was gone. Ray walked to the basin. He placed his hand on the side. It was warm. "She gave herself," Diaz said quietly. "To stop them," Liam nodded. "Or to send a warning." Ray looked up. In the distance, the enemy ships turned retreating. "They're gone," he whispered. "For now." Snow began falling again. But this time, it wasn't cold. It felt peaceful. Ray turned to his team. "We head back. We carry this message. We tell them everything." Diaz looked at the beacon. "And her?" Ray smiled faintly. "She lives, in that light, in what she gave us." They began the long walk back down the mountain. The war wasn't over. But now, humanity wasn't alone.